Clap your hands and celebrate. All right. So welcome everyone to another Sunday 100-day challenge call. It's really great to have you people on with us again. And I'm going to do the introduction right after Kevin shares. I want to give him an opportunity to share before he has to leave. So let's just welcome Kevin. Good morning.
Hey. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, as I was saying a while ago, I was in Vegas for a business trip. Due to some plane travel issues, my trip was actually cut short. But I pre-planned. I set my goals. I just really followed my game plan that I made here at the house before I ever left on a trip to Vegas. And honest to goodness, I got more did in those 4 or 5 hours I was on the ground out there than I have in 5 days out there in the past. I established my meetings with customers. I met the people I needed to meet. I shook everybody's hands, and I picked up at least 2 new clients while I was there. So it was a good few hours.
Yeah. How do you explain that? What do you think that really was different about your state of mind?
Focus.
Focus.
Yeah.
I was much more focused on what was going on this time. In the past, I've haven't been as focused but this time I had a mission, I had a plan, I had a deadline, and I met it.
Right on.
Perfect. Let's give that a round of applause.
Right on.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
So if you had to give the ones over here who are not having that good of a week this week, any advice based on this week's experience for you? In order to gain focus, what would you recommend doing? What are the steps to get back on the horse and step it up?
For me it was, and gosh almighty, I had a flight that was canceled as I was going to the airport to go out there, which really cut my time out there very short anyway. But really it was having that deadline. I had a deadline that I had to meet. I had stuff that had to be accomplished inside of that deadline, and it just it worked out to get accomplished.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Really cool. Does that resonate with anyone on here? Does anyone work with deadlines? Has anyone seen the difference with that, or does anyone see their lack of of putting specific deadlines for what they're doing and want to share about that?
I disagree. Everything he said, same.
You agree?
Focus.
Hey, Kevin, just out of curiosity, did you use anybody as an outside accountability scenario, or was it just you kicking your own butt?
It was me kicking my own butt. I actually have an accountability partner. She and I agreed to start doing it this past week. Unfortunately, with the travel and with some other issues, we're not going to actually start until Monday together.
Okay, cool.
Good luck on that.
Great job, then. Great job.
Yeah, but that's another thing. I didn't want to disappoint my accountability partner, so I thought I better step it up.
There you go. There you go.
That's awesome. And Kevin, I want to say, you may not be here throughout the whole introduction. We have a really great call waiting for us today. So please, unless you can join the next call, please watch the video after and get yourself informed and keep going, because that's awesome for us to see that as an example. It's very inspiring.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin.
And thank you for joining, even though you had such a short amount of time. That is really awesome. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right. It's funny. I was at my sister's wedding, and every time there was an opportunity to clap, I was like clapping everyone. They didn't get what my thing was with clapping, but I've become so used to it by now that it's like been my thing. I'll just go into a room and I'll be like, "Hey, I just came in, everyone. It's Give it a round of applause.
That's like Joseph when the double doors open.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, why don't people like clap more often? It's so fun. When we're kids, we're all excited about clapping. It's a fun thing to do.
And Katana, I did that one day at Whole Foods. I wasn't having a good day. I think it was bad. And so I changed my state and I walked in Whole Foods and went, yes, I'm here.
Karen's here, everyone.
Did the guys in the white coat come for you yet?
They were thinking about it.
Hey, I guess my virus scan is done.
Beautiful. I like that everyone's on video today. Well, we can't see everyone, but I guess everyone can see those of us who are on video, which is kind of neat. And I want to do the introduction, but before that, we're going to do another stretch, and we're going to party a little more. Just so damn fun. So let's give it another stretch.
I'm only here for the music anyway.
Hands up. To the right. To the front. To the back. And our head. To the right. Bottom. Left. And up. Really do another 3 of those. You can turn both sides. Don't forget the face muscles. Make your funniest face.
Right? That's it.
Now strike a sexy pose for us.
Right.
Remember, this will be on YouTube, and millions of people will be watching.
Awesome!
Come on, you.
Show your muscles.
Glamour shots.
Lucky faces.
One little hug to yourselves this morning. All right, let's clap the music away.
Clap! Yeah! Woo! Clap, clap!
All right, that was fun in a minute. All right, so welcome to the call again. I'm just going to remind you guys, I think you all know how to use Zoom by now. If you want to mute, it's bottom left-hand side. If you want to change the view and you're on the computer, you can change it on the top right if you're not on full screen. And if you want to talk, please use the raise hand function or raise your real hand. It'll just hurt more. You can do that by going to participants on the bottom. There's a function on the phone as well. Feel free to use the chat below if you want to have all those secrets you usually have behind my back about, you know, which dread is sticking out or anything like that. That's the place to private message each other or publicly message all of us that share links or anything that you guys feel like saying. Feel free to use that, and I can give you a transcript later. This call is being recorded just for the purpose of people missing out or you guys wanting to review the call. You can do that on the iinspire YouTube page. And goodbye to Kevin. And
Bye, Kevin.
bye, have a great day. And yeah, and I want to tell you, I want to start by just telling you something that is really important to me today. And then we'll go to sharing, but we'll also have a little bit of a concept to this week's call. One thing that's been on my mind this week, regardless of, what I've been through, has been how can I bring this community that we already have at this point of the challenge where it's becoming even more challenging to stay on board and stick it out and, stay on it. Or maybe for some people it's easier, but I know that it's starting to be something that you've either made a habit by now or haven't made a habit and have made a habit of making yourself wrong. One of the two. And really, how can we bring this community as not only just a place to share and keep each other accountable, but really to help each other and ourselves step up the game? Because what we have here is truly rare. It's rare. I don't take it for granted for 1 second. I don't take for granted that I have 170 people in a group and about 40 people a week joining in by video in the morning or middle of their Sunday all over the world. And, being on this challenge together and pushing themselves to produce results, to learn from each other, to keep each other accountable. I just don't take it for granted for 1 second. I think it's leadership. It's amazing empowerment. And I think that we're not even touching on the abilities of the people in this community. And the reason I'm saying that is not because I have anything to complain about, but the opposite is true, is I think that because we all have such amazing abilities, I have more and more questions that come up in my head is how can we bring that out? How can we bring that out to enforce you guys to step up your game and really bring something new? One of the things that I've come across by asking myself this question repeatedly throughout the week was something that Tony Robbins says. He says, living is giving. And when he said that, that suddenly struck something about that, kind of gave me a little bit of the answer. I said at first, one of the things that I thought to myself was, maybe I don't need to give you guys too much responsibility because you guys being accountable for each other, maybe that's too much to take on because you already have the challenge and everything. I can't expect that. But when I heard the living is giving, and I heard another interview where Tony Robbins actually connected that to happiness, because he said happiness is progress. And people, they don't want to just get to their goal and sit there and wait. It's not about that. They want to keep growing. And growth allows them to give more and contribute more. And then they feel even bigger. So when he connected that, I was like, wow, okay, this is it. So happiness is progress, which is definitely what we're up to on this 100-day challenge, or at least what we're attempting to be up to. And then growing by contributing and becoming a bigger person because you're already affecting the others around you is exactly what we have access to being a community that we are, and having access to all the other people. And instead of me giving the answer, the ultimate answer of, okay, so how can we use that in order to leverage this community to not only keep it going, but to keep it growing, to keep every individual here more accountable and more, bring out more of themselves into the challenge and raise the bar and, cause themselves to quantum leap into their goals and achieve things they've never had before and inspire others to do the same. Instead of having the answer, I decided that I would bring that question into today's call, both on this call and the next one, and give you guys some time to reflect too. So the way that I want this call to be, I still want to get your shares and I want to know what you've been through this week. But I want you to add another thing to that. I want you to even maybe take a pen and paper if you need a minute to do that. I'll give you one in a minute. But I really want us to take a minute or two to kind of run through whatever it is that comes up when we ask ourselves that question. And we can split it up. I think the ultimate question is, how can we step it up as a community? Okay? Or how can we use the community in order to leverage success or inspiration? How can we keep growing? How can we contribute to each other, to other people out there? And you can write that to yourselves. I'll give you guys a minute if you want to walk around, grab a pen and paper, then do that. But already start your head going around those questions, because I want just whatever you write is fine. It may open up a conversation. I want us to be like something that we all talk about and bring things up. And so we can merge that in with whatever it is you guys have to share with us this week. And we're not an entirely huge group, so I think that we'll have enough time to do that as well. So take a minute. I'm actually going to grab a pen too, and I'll put some music on in the background, so no worries about that. While you're writing, whatever it is that comes up, you can also think of what can I do to contribute to others, or what do I need in order to step up my game. I'm going to take another 60 seconds. All right, everyone. Thank you for taking that time to think over everything. And I have a bit of just something small to share with you guys, and then I'll let you guys rock this call. And that is that one of my ways, and I've already touched on this a few times, but one of my ways to grow and expand this community is my dream of building a community called iinspire. It's just a name that came to me a couple of years ago when I imagined people from all over the world empowering each other, in different ways. It just kind of came to me like an epiphany one day. I had a crisis, actually. And I remember getting up from the computer. I'll tell you guys the whole story one day if you want to. But getting up from the computer, and it just came to me like a vision. I wasn't looking for an idea. I actually had something else that I was working on then. But I almost cried because what I saw all of a sudden is it just took over my head. And I really visioned like people speaking to each other all over the world from the computer and just coaching each other, helping each other out, bringing them to bringing out their leadership, just this whole community where everyone can inspire, no matter who they are and where they're at and what age they are and where they're from. And the reason I called it iinspire is because anyone can be an inspirer, and anyone can be a leader. And that's the type of community that I've always wanted to build. And I've tried several ways of doing that and never got close enough to it for different reasons. And I think this is the closest I've ever been, is actually not trying to make something and then bring people in, is more just actually witnessing what it's like to actually come from the place of actually wanting to inspire people and being a part of the community. And it just started kind of on its own. And so I really want to take the opportunity to make you guys my partners in trying to make that happen. For me, it can be anything. It doesn't have to happen a certain way. It has to happen in a way that would work for you guys, a way that would make you want to be a part of it. And it's something that I would love to hear. And what I thought of doing is, I'm uploading what we're doing to the iinspire YouTube, and I'd love to add more inspiration on there, get stuff from you guys, hear stuff that you guys would want to contribute to that. I thought of creating a WordPress blog for iinspire, and not only putting, the challenge there and the morning calls there and all these things, but also give you guys or anyone like an opportunity to, like, Keren can put her fundraiser there, or, other people can put something else there, anything that's like within our community, and we can, give it a stage. And bring people, more and more people on board through that. That's kind of like my way, and maybe even my kind of, you can call it, I'm a true dreamer, okay? I'm like a kid in that sense. I never stop, dreaming. And maybe this naive dream that I have is, that this small community that we have can become the world's most empowering self-development community in the world. And, call me crazy, but that's the way that I view you guys. And when I get on the call, that's like the honor that I feel, is that I'm not only speaking to people, I'm speaking to leaders, to people who are willing to do a lot more than the large majority of people, and that's such an inspiration to people outside of Tony Robbins or other people from other events who don't have this. And I just want to grow that and make it accessible to more and more people. And now I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you, Keren. You're all muted, so it's like this silent, silent clap. but I felt it. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to share not only like where you're at, what your weird week was, but also what you wrote down. So in whatever order you see fit, go ahead and share. Thank you.
I'll go. In answer to your question, I feel really strongly that I'm in a good place with all of that. One of it is I have a job. I'm a hair designer. I've been doing it for 30 years. So I have an opportunity of people at my grasp in their personal space every day. And one of the things in recovery, because I'm in a recovery program, that they say, you can't keep what you don't give away. And so what we do is we serve and we give away to keep propelling, being inspiring and all of that. And so I have an opportunity to be in people's spaces. And so when somebody asks me, and I have really good retention. And so I've had these people for decades of time. And so when they come in and they ask me, how you doing? It's not a stranger where you just say, hey, I'm good, and you walk down the street. They really want to know what I'm doing because they're interested in me and we have a relationship and they like me and respect me. So that makes me also remember a time when a pastor said to me, or to the group, when are you going to be the mentor that you're looking for? And stop being that follower and looking for more and more information and more guidance, and then you'll be good enough, and then you'll be good enough. And ever since I heard that, that was a turning point for me when I said, you know what, it's true. I spent my whole life at that point never feeling good enough and constantly having to get more information to feel good enough to be able to be worthy of being heard by somebody.
Wow.
So that was kind of the beginning for me. So with that, when my clients ask me, so how's it going? What are you up to? And I said, I'm doing great. Really? What are you doing? And I'll share the challenge, because sometimes my self-will or just my human nature wants to say, oh my God, I don't want to talk about that today, or oh, it's so much to share, or oh, I just want to be quiet. And I don't do that. And one of the things that I also believe is when they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, I have a definition of insanity squared. It's doing the same thing over again, harder and more and harder and more, still thinking it's going to get better because you're pressing harder. And so I just really understand the concept of stepping out of that human will or that flesh inside that wants to get lazy. So I push that aside and I say, no, I choose to be more. And I love inspiring people and I love empowering people. So I share with them, and man, they all want in. How do I get on those calls? How do I do this? And they all want a piece of it. And so I just break it down for them and make it really simple. And I say, well, why don't you just do this? Pick 3 to 5 goals, get three empowering whys. You must get that done. Put 5 action steps behind each one and go for it. And make sure you have someone you're accountable to. So that's what I do there. And then as far as like our page and stuff, this is another thing that I adapted a long time ago. You got to give up that feeling of worrying about what other people think. Honestly, I mean, I love all you guys and you're safe to me, but sometimes people aren't safe, and I just be who I am all the time. And you just have to lose that feeling of what will people think. And I have a girl that went to UPW Dallas with me. I encouraged her to go, and sometimes she's just not comfortable with that. And I encourage her to get out of that feeling of, well, I don't know if people like what I say, or worried about if people press like or not. Who cares? Be who you are, inspire, and keep going. And, you know, I post stuff all the time. You guys know that. It's because it's who I am. I am my brand. That's me. I am me, and I do who I am. And with that, people will be inspired or they won't be. And the ones that are, and the ones that don't care, don't, and whatever. And I keep moving forward. So that's my answer to your question. I hope that was helpful to somebody.
Yes. Let's give that a round of applause.
That's because you're insane, girl.
Yeah. I agree, Bird. Actually,
I saw those tires.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny that you said that, because a long time ago in my 20s and 30s, when I was expanding myself and growing, it really would trip. I'd go 1 step forward and literally 10 steps back, because I would go on a freaking date or be with somebody and they say, you're just too much. You're just kind of over the top or whatever. And so I assigned a meaning to that, like, oh no. And so to me at that time, I was so wounded that it was more important for me that you like me and I keep you than to lose you. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're right. Maybe I just shouldn't, whatever. And I would back myself down, and I spent freaking decades editing who I am. And I don't freaking edit who I am anymore. I don't give a shit. I don't care. And as long as you're in integrity with God, for me, God is my judge. And as long as I'm clear vertically, my horizontal works out. And the people that I'm supposed to help, they're being helped and they're being inspired. And I love that. And we're called to do that. We are the voice. We are. And we're called to step up. And, once you do Tony Robbins and you roll over and press snooze, shame on you, period. That's how I feel. And everybody has their process. I get that. And if you just take more time to get out there, that's one thing. But to press snooze and say, oh, well, Tony didn't help me. I went to that UPW and whatever. But they come back and they don't do anything. That's the snooze button. Yeah. So we're all in action, and action is important. And I love what Kevin shared. So with that, that's my answer to your question with that. But I love what Kevin shared.
Cool idea, Katana. Wow, I'll tell you.
Yay. Yay. Oh, I'm going to clap for myself.
Yay. Yes.
I love what Kevin shared, because that was really relative to my week. I love that he talked about plan and a focus, and I have so realized little insidious habits that I would fall into, and I'm going to use the word temptation. We have temptations all day long, and we have the opportunity to decide all day long. And as human beings, we have that freaking sin nature. We have that, I'm just kind of tired. I think I'm just going to lay here for 10 more minutes. Well, I worked really hard. I deserve that donut. I worked hard. I worked out yesterday. I worked out today. It's just a donut. I mean, come on. Those little freaking things, right? And I really realized on this challenge, listening to those videos, to stay in a state of excellence 24/7, we don't have the privilege to say, well, whatever. It's not an option. It's just not. And so I've learned to click that off a lot faster. And one of the things I've done, and I think it was Paul that shared, this is something, a little snippet I took with me, being 80% successful in this challenge. So if I put something out, like I want to be on the Unleashed calls 5 days a week, and I want to do it all, and I'm going to climb the mountain, and I'm going to blah, 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 how we all are. We have this like addiction to urgency, and we're going to get it all. And then we set ourselves up for failure. So then there's a little temptation that comes along, and I'm like, yeah, it's just too hard. Yeah, it's too much. I'm just going to whatever. So I love that, because one of the things I've incorporated in trying to change some of these little insidious things, get my ass up and it's 5 a.m. for me on those calls. And it's hard sometimes because I do train at night, and I do need to rest and all of that stuff. And I work all day, whatever. I can do it. So I set it up. I set it up for myself that, you know what, if I do 2 calls a week, I'm successful. And this is going to sound really funny, but something I've added to my deal because of this challenge, don't laugh at me, and I don't care what you think anyway, but I make my bed every day. Every day. I leave my room with my bed made. Has it been helping?
Wow.
So because one of the things I learned in this program, the 100-Day Challenge, is you have to, looking back at what worked and what didn't, you have to look at those little insidious things that affect you. And it does affect me on my subconscious level. When I walk out of my room and my bed's not made, it pisses me off. I feel like a failure. I don't start my day clean and in order, and I'm ready to charge. I want to get out of my bed and make that sucker and get on my call and feel powerful. Wow. And it starts my day out better. So I don't want to take a bunch more time, but I really did have a powerful, really successful week. And so one of the things that I would really press for my call today to share is just to be aware of those little temptations that just go, and we're like, oh yeah, and then we fall over a little bit, and the roller coaster gets a little wobbly, and we don't keep pressing forward. That's what I've been doing, and I just keep that focus that Kevin talked about, and having a plan, and having that plan for the day. I do have an accountability partner. I love it. We do our 3 wins every day, and I'm the same way. I don't want to disappoint her, and I'm competitive, so I want to have mine bigger and better. So that keeps me going too. And so if anybody doesn't have a partner, I encourage you to get one. It really does. It helps you feel successful. And then she and I agreed with our 3 wins to keep them relative to our goals and not just have a bunch of chatter. So
perfect.
Over and out. That's my put for the call.
I'm asking everyone to take a deep breath in, and when you get it out, I want you guys to unmute yourselves, because we're gonna give Katana a serious clap right now, because participant right there.
And peers.
Yeah, for sure. You can't do it alone. Seriously, you can't. Thank you so much. That was incredibly inspiring, and who you are is incredibly inspiring. And your energy is radiating, and you shine. And yes, you're over the top incredible. That's what you are. And and it's really, really, really empowering for all of us to have that as an example. And love your pictures. It makes me want to go work out. So
I get tired looking at them. I'm like, no.
So keep it up.
Just kidding.
It's incredible, really. It's incredible. And, I feel it's something I feel like sharing with the whole world. People like you is just like really, really inspiring, and it makes people get their ass out of bed and go do something. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. And it's a beautiful note, and I kind of want to keep it up, but I promised Anne that we'd discuss her question. So let's just go through that really quick, and we'll come back to what we wrote and see how we can continue with that. Anne, are you still on? If not, she'll watch the video later.
I am on. I'm about to start driving, so I'll be really quick. My question basically was, the 100-day challenge is basically, he says there's not a day that you won't have to use your iron discipline, perseverance, etc., etc. But do you guys give yourselves a day off to just relax? Because I realized one of the reasons that I may have not been able to keep the momentum on one of the days is because I didn't give myself permission to just take a day off. So I'm wondering if anyone else does that. And I decided to do it for this week. I just wrote my after action review last night and decided to include a one day off, which will be Saturdays, and see how that goes. But I wanted to know what other people do.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you for sharing that. I want to hear from all of you. I'll quickly say that the way that I look at it is actually I just don't call it a day off, but I do make sure I include resting, doing fun stuff, and things like that in my tasks. So whether you want to put it at a certain time every day, like have that task to take an hour off, or if you prefer chunking it up and putting it on Saturday, but calling it a day off is kind of like maybe giving yourself a way out instead of seeing it as something that can empower you. Because what if what you were missing when you put goals for yourself and when you try to step up is you're missing giving yourself the time needed to kind of relax, to not have to do anything too powerful, not have to work out or anything like that. Maybe if you can link that as something that actually contributes to your success and contributes to your goals, if you can even write down your whys as to why have that downtime and see it as something that can actually go hand in hand with pursuing your goals, just like, starting fresh the day after or anything like that, you just won't have to call it a day off. You'll be like on the challenge, and you can actually reward yourself for, accomplishing that as well. Because I know the way that you are, you actually go all in, right? You've shared that before, and you have high expectations from yourself. So maybe it's something that actually deserves a reward, is if you can get in the downtime and get in the relaxation and get in the, not being hard on yourself and just having a fun day. And that could be a goal for you. It doesn't have to be one of the primary goals, but a daily goal or a weekly goal for sure. That's my opinion. I love to hear more people. So hold on one second. Andrea, did you want to talk about Anne, or did you want to say something as well?
Well, I kind of,
your hand up.
Well, both actually. I agree with Anne as far as the day off, but in a way, what you just said really resonated with me. And as far as not calling it a day off, because the best way for me to describe it is almost like it's getting into that mindset of, pushing through that day off and not really calling it a day off, but just allowing yourself that time, like what Yahli said, on Saturday to be playful. Because if you have that day off, I just kind of feel like later on, we might go back to the mediocre us. And, well, I'll just, take another day off, and, almost like what Katana said about, I worked all week, and, I'll have another donut because I'm, driving past the donut shop. I just think it's important to stay on, the way that it's set up, and not really get into the day off, but leave your time, space out that time for, being playful, and just, even if it's like, 8 hours, and you plugged in, earlier that day or that evening just to get those goals done, but all day, you went shopping, into the movies and all this other stuff, and allowed yourself that time. But I think it's important to stay on track, But as far as what Katana said also, as far as the how we can step up, I really feel that sharing our experiences, this is, just for something that I've noticed, is that when we share each other's experiences, whether we feel that they're like, if we're stuck, I feel that when we share those, either our wins or what we call our losses, it makes us more aware, even for ourselves. When we share that, it makes us more aware of like, oh, okay, wow, good point on what you said, Katana or Yahli or, Keren, because it's actually opened up some more ideas for myself. And it reminded me of Tony Robbins had posted a video yesterday about, how the breakthroughs come through. And I feel that sometimes when we share some of those, like those days where we just feel so defeated and like we're not going anywhere, that when we share those experiences with other people, that we're able to work through that pain and have those breakthroughs, and sharing those, we're able to, for me, I'm able to look at those and say, okay, let me push through this then, because like with Kevin, when he just talked about, focusing, I thought to myself, yeah, okay, I won't focus so much on what I did wrong or what defeated me. I'll focus on still what it is that I'm here for, what my goals are, and just push through this, and I'm really feeling that my that I might be, kind of steady and not feeling any growth, but then I'm on a call or I'm listening to stuff in the group, I'll feel like a growth, and then, level off. So it's kind of like, that's what it's been like for me. So I'm in this 47 years of my life, I really feel like there's a lot of growing that I'm getting from y'all's group, from this group. And that's one way I feel that I've been able to step up, so.
That's really awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Let's give it a round of applause. Definitely want to get used to clapping for everyone, because everyone's just such a hero here. And Andrea, and your shares have been fantastic and amazing, and you're so inspiring. Just everything that you've shared so far has been incredible. And I'm just really so happy to have someone like you with us in this group. And it's empowering. And I'd love to always know, what it is that we can contribute to your success, and for you to step up your game and bring something new in and refresh and do that and keep sharing, because it's awesome. It's really awesome.
No, thank you.
Who else?
My answer to the day off is absolutely not. No way. No day off. No way. But what I do is I'm good to myself. So if it's a massage, yesterday I got a pedicure, that's an hour out of my day. An hour. That's a lot of time. I could get a lot of shit done in an hour. But I take that time and I be good to myself. And to me, that is time out. So I can sit there and just do nothing. I don't really have to get anything done. I can relax and just breathe and just look at the people and all that. And that's how I feel like I have my time. I would say time out, but not time off.
Yeah.
It's just a little time out to be good to myself and just kind of breathe and take in life and not be doing something and accomplishing something. And I got to get more and go harder. So that's what I do. I find things to just take little time outs just to breathe and take life in and take people in and just observe.
That's awesome. That's important. Yeah. We have Bert like politely raising his hand for a long time. Is your hand okay, Bert?
Sorry, Bert.
I want to bottle whatever you're taking, Katana.
Oh yeah.
I can put that on blast and make a fortune. I just wanted to address a couple of things that Andrea was talking about. Oh, no, it was Ann. I'm sorry. One thing is, that you have to remember, peak performance, first off, regarding a day off, peak performance comes from a peak state. Ever hear that one before?
Hell yeah.
That's Anthony Robbins. So if you want to perform at a peak state, do something physical, change your focus, ask better questions. If it's your challenge, you run it the way you want. The challenge is actually a process. The first time you go through it, you're going to mess up. It's not going to be, we're all high performers. So you know what? We're all expecting to do 110%. Well, you know what? It's life. Shit's going to happen. And we're going to fall away. So, that's why I came up with, progress, not perfection. Because I am one of those people that if I say I'm going to, create 80 Kindle books this month, or during this challenge, if I get to 79, I'm, a little pissed at myself and I'm hard on myself. So it was about progress. If I can get to 80%, that's a B+. I'll take it.
Oh, it was you, Bert.
Yeah, right. The other thing was rewards. One of the things I decided at the end of the first challenge is there was no intrinsic reward other than accomplishing the challenge goals. And so this time around, what I did is I set a goal that if I hit what I did is I usually set financial goals, but if you set a goal to earn X amount of dollars, let's say $20,000 in a 100-day period, as an example, just to keep round numbers, you can't really control that. So that's what I did the first challenge. I set a financial goal based on dollars, but you know what? With internet marketing, I can't control who clicks on my sites, who buys my products on Amazon or eBay. All I can control is the activity that I do. So, how many videos I produce, how many articles I write, how many backlinks I get, the whole shebang. So I focused on activity goals. So if I hit my activity goals, I'm going to Miami, which is awesome after shoveling for 2 fucking hours yesterday, 6 inches of snow, which had actually become ice. So that was exciting for me. I had an accountability partner this week that we got together, and I didn't want to just do 3 wins. So what we did is we came up with what we do is we say to each other the 3 tasks before midnight that night. We text each other or message each other on Facebook 3 tasks that we want to do the next day, which are related to our challenge goals. And what I do is on the day that I just don't want to run hard, I just pick 3 easy ones, That's it, because that's, like I'll work 7 days a week and I usually do. But, Sundays, I pick 3 easy ones, So the first one was wake up. I checked that one off already. Second one is make the short list for the day. I did that one already. And the third one was get on this call. So I win. So it's been working out well. One of the things was during the first challenge, I was by myself. I had no friends involved in it. And I thank you very much for creating this group and all the incredible people here. Whenever I get down by reading other bullshit posts on Facebook, I always go back to my UPW groups.
Right?
Because at least their head's in the right place. I mean, some of the shit on Facebook, man. Wow, depressing. Yeah, I mean, even I'm in a sales group, and these people are just fucking morons. I belong to Ultimate Love and Passion. Are any of you guys in that group?
Oh my God!
There's no support there. They tear people's ass off. I mean,
yeah, it's so
these are supposed to be Anthony Robbins people. Don't they know that what you're supposed to do is encourage and support? There's enough assholes to rip you one. But anyway, that's my rant. And so at the end of the day, what we do is we hold each other accountable to 3 tasks. But there is punishment, but the punishment is related to the challenge goal. So my AP, my accountability partner, she punishes herself if she doesn't do all 3 tasks by making herself do more push-ups, because that's part of her objective. And mine is to increase my cardio, so I do an extra 15 minutes of cardio for every task I miss. So, we've got a little bit of pain, we got a little bit of pleasure, and then the 3 wins. The 3 wins can be anything. It doesn't have to be related to the task that we set. It could be anything that happens in your life. So that's what we do every day. And believe it or not, the accountability, because I am competitive, I'm a sales for life. And, people say don't put yourself up against other people because, you're supposed to compete against yourself. Well, competing against myself is boring. Competing against other people is cool because I get bragging rights. I said, I kicked your fucking ass. and that drives me. And I'm sorry, it's a psychological problem with me. I'm an aggressive, high.
I have that problem. It's okay.
But that's the way I am. Always been that way my entire life. And that's why, in the military, I was doing crazy shit like jumping out of planes. But anyway, that's what I have for you. I hope that helps. Just remember, if you're going to take the day off, do it for the right reasons. Don't make it a TV day. Don't just say I'm going to veg out. Maybe go for a walk, maybe go for a bike ride if the or skiing or whatever, like snowboarding. Awesome idea. That you're going to get recharged when you come back from that. You're going to be, cold but feeling awesome. So, more power to you. That's it.
Hey, let's give him some applause.
You guys, I have a question because I don't have the daily email. So you guys have accountability buddies you talk with every single day?
Yes, I do.
Some of us do.
I don't have anybody.
Who doesn't have one? Adrian, Karen?
I don't have it.
Udoka? You know what? I'm going to write in the group, okay? I don't want you guys, in order for it not to be something that you have to choose on your own and fight about, okay? I'm going to post a post right now on the 100-day challenge asking who doesn't have an accountability buddy. You just write me, okay? You don't have to choose each other or anything like that unless you are certain you want someone. You can PM them when you see them on the list. But just sorry.
Ready-made playlist.
Commercial. So I'll post that. Post yourselves on, and then what we'll do is I'll do like a little raffle and put you guys together, and I want you guys to take advantage of that because. Look, when I found, I have my accountability buddy, Jana. And I was in a course, in a kind of seminar course, Becoming Leaders at Landmark with her. And originally we were told to buddy up with someone so that the course will be easier. And I buddied up with one of the hot, cool guys over there. And I was so happy, him and I, me and him. And, I was so happy about that. And I think that the next week we came to one of the lessons and we were told, we were asked who doesn't have an accountability buddy for some reason. And Jana was one of the people who raised their hand. And then she decided to ask us if she could join us and be like a triple accountability buddy thing. And we said, okay, fine, why not? Yeah, why not? And we had her in. And the next week we were told, no, you can't be triples. We have other people who are missing buddies. So yeah, you guys have to split up. And the first thing the cool guy did was went to another guy and said, you know what, I'll be with you. And I was like, what? My buddy, how could he do that to me? Now I'm stuck with Jana. And not that I had anything against her, but, I thought it needs to be a certain way, and I had my mind fixed on it, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll make the best of this Jana thing. Little did I know this Jana thing would become my bestest friend in the world, and that I don't think anyone from that course kept in touch throughout the whole year. We put together the idea of the morning calls because I always envied people who had that, and I told her the idea, and she's like, yeah, now she wakes me up every morning. Without her, I wouldn't even be up for the call. So, you never know. So it doesn't matter who your buddy is or what you think it should be like. Just trust me. Everyone here is absolutely amazing. Everyone in the whole group and everyone who attended UPW, and what you put in and you invest in your buddy is what you will get from your buddy. It's just like that. So, so not only get a buddy and answer the post that I'll put up in just a minute while we're on the call. I'll put it up, but also invest in your buddy. Be accountable for them, because it's easier to be accountable for someone else. You can trust that the more accountable you are to them, they'll be accountable for you. It's a way easier job than having to be accountable for yourself. Trust me. We don't even see ourselves most of the time, and we can't tell like what our bad habits are and anything like that. So when you're with your buddy, also challenge them and ask them questions and see where you can be in their face. I'm sure everyone on this challenge will appreciate it. Don't forget, we're all getting it anyway from Gary, Ryan, Blair. So we're used to having it in our face. Do people a favor and do that to them personally as well. And yeah, and I'll remind you, and Bert, I want to hear from you too about this. I want to hear from you guys how we can step it up in the group. And I'm going to be in your face about that too. I mean, it's awesome. You guys are great. You're showing up to these calls. What about the people who aren't? What about the people who are in the group and are dropping out? What about the people who don't have accountability buddies? What about yourselves? What about you hasn't stepped up and taken a quantum leap? Like, what would it be that would really, really challenge you and you'd be scared to death to do and you can commit to doing this week? Like, what's a one thing like that you can maybe share with us, or anything like that? And I just had a great idea while Katana was talking, and I'll tell you that too and tell me what you guys think. But, you know, Katana was speaking about her sharing and everything like that, and not being shy to share with outsiders or anyone in the world. And I've seen you do that, Katana. It's amazing. You actually brought a lot of people on this challenge that personally wrote me and got them in. And that's incredible. So thank you for being that for people. It's incredible. I thought that how about, and this won't go public, don't worry about it, just for the UPW groups, or maybe the Date with Destiny group. But how about we take maybe our next call, or we could do it this call, but I don't know if we have time, make a video for everyone on the UPW group, telling them a little bit about each of our experiences, or maybe one or two words, or maybe something of encouragement, whatever it is that comes up. I could just do it so that it's on speaker view when everybody speaks, and I can edit it later and make a video out of it that we share on the UPW group, encouraging other people to join our calls or do their own challenge, or anything that you guys think would be empowering. That could be an idea. Andrea?
I think that's an awesome idea. Not only for sharing your experiences, but I think it would be really good for your future WordPress blog and stuff like that. I think it'd be good for you as well.
Cool. Yeah, you're right. It's good for anything. Anyone who would be willing to do that in any way, shape, or form that you guys see fit. It doesn't have to be about the challenge itself. It could be about anything. Then let's brainstorm on it and see if we can plan that for next week. That would be amazing. And those of you who don't want to be a part of it, that's also good. Or those of you who want to be anonymous and want to just be on audio, that's also okay. If you want me to write a quote instead of you being on, that's also okay. Just whatever we can do to contribute to that happening, that I think that could be awesome. Thanks. Who else wants to share? Oh, Bert, I wanted to know what you thought about, what can help us step up as a community.
There's so much potential when you have a group of motivated people. One of the things that was coming to my mind, and I don't know if it's appropriate, but perhaps maybe not in this challenge, or maybe in this challenge, or maybe the next one, is we could also focus on one project as a group. I was reading about this homeless individual who somebody followed him on because he gave him like $5. I don't know if you guys saw this. And he followed the guy to see if the guy was going to use the money for food as he was advertising, so to speak. And he watched him and he videotaped it and saw the guy walking into a liquor store. And he kind of said, sure, of course, what else? And then the guy came out a few minutes later with a bag, and he kind of followed him at a distance. And the guy went across the street to the park and started handing sandwiches to his fellow homeless people. And the guy felt so bad because he kind of was expecting different behavior, and it disappointed him, that he went and created a GoFundMe account. And the last time I looked, he had raised over $65,000 for this individual. And
last time I looked, there is over $100,000 for this guy.
Wow.
That's
and something like that doesn't mean, we can all contribute $5 or whatever the minimum is for GoFundMe. I'm not familiar with that program, that Kickstarter. But something like that with the virility of the internet, if that's the correct word, viralness, I guess. Virility would be what I have. Anyway, the viralness of the internet, that could be something that we could do as a group project, and then it doesn't take a lot of time. We could just kind of monitor it and promote it on our Facebook groups and whatever else we can do. And so we have something overall to bind us other than our individual goals. Because really all we have to keep us bound to each other than our accountability partner is your beautiful face, Yahli, and Katona's wild energy, and everybody else here that's also beautiful and got some really good energy coming across. So maybe we can do that, which, we do more for others than we do for ourselves. That's a basic motivational stratagem. So that's the only thing I could think of is, that I was kicking around myself. I mean,
Bert, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because I already have some news for you guys. I already thought of that.
Awesome.
I touched on it a little bit once, but I've actually been having conversations about this. I just didn't want to mention it before I, had any direct answer. But some of you may have heard the idea from me before. But I'm working with a guy named Taylor Conroy, a friend of a friend, who has an amazing startup, philanthropic startup called Change Heroes. And they're helping build schools in places where education really sucks. And we're working together, Taylor and I, on finding the perfect place to see where we can work on building a school together. And that would require only something around $100,000 total. And I'm saying only because when you can go out and spread it and share it with the world, it really isn't a large amount of money to think of years and years of education for children, and the difference that can make. So I was really inspired by the idea, and it's something that I've been discussing with him in order to bring that out as kind of an incentive for all of us to work towards, and not necessarily by having to put our own money in, but also by sharing it and seeing it as a way for us to contribute and give and grow from that. So thank you for mentioning that. What do you think about that, Bert? Does that fit in with what you were thinking? Bert? I don't know what happened to him.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, we may have. Anybody else?
I like it.
Cool.
I like it also because at that age, it's really good to, I don't want to say influence kids, but the way that our education system, and especially when you're coming from an impoverished area, at a young age, to be able to, in order to be able to contribute later on, when you start them early, I think that's an awesome idea.
They're our next generation, and we really need to, with all these things that happen with bullying and these teen suicides and everything, these kids, they get pounded down, and their emotions, it's terrible what happens, especially in high school, the drama. And to go ahead, and my daughter had gone to UPW, the youth program, and to be surrounded by these other like-minded teenagers, of bringing each other up instead of putting each other down, is a tremendous, it's a huge thing. And I totally agree with you about schools and building these kids up and building their confidence and giving them the tools to succeed, instead of giving them things and throwing them out to the wolves and saying, go for it. And then they have such bad self-esteem and like I was saying about bullying, about everything. It's so sad, all these teen suicides.
Yeah, totally. So I'll definitely share more details with you guys once Taylor and I continue speaking about it. We have a call planned. So definitely something to put on the list, and I'll think of the right way to integrate that, or we can just start it off and see where it goes and what ideas people have in order to push it forward. But I really want it to be something for us as an incentive to our success and staying together and being focused on a mission to have this school actually built within a certain amount of time, or whatever you guys see fit for
well, the other person to go ahead and maybe contact that works with kids a lot is Gary King, who's been with Tony Robbins for the past 25 years. And he speaks to the crew a lot, and he also speaks with the youth group. And he works a lot with youth and schools, and he is an incredible speaker. He is really wonderful. You can go ahead and see him on Facebook, and that would be.
I wrote it down. I'll definitely run it by you.
Okay.
Definitely run it by you. I want to use up the time because we're reaching the end. For those of you who haven't spoken yet and want to share with us anything about what we've spoken about on the call so far. Adrian, you started saying something?
Well, I wanted to share you guys what I've been doing with my goals.
Yes.
I've been watching all the videos. I don't have a buddy to share my stuff, so that's gonna be good. I'll find somebody as well. But I wanted to share you guys what I did. I've always been a goal setter, and every year I go back and I'm like, oh man, I got at least half of them done. That it's pretty cool, and I do it every morning and every night. And I did this cards is like pictures, and I have pictures of all the stuff that I want to accomplish and do. Cool. It's just images. It's just images of stuff that I want to have in my life. It's just like a car, and I want to quit smoking. I smoke, so I want to have my credit, 750, and I have, stuff like that. And I look at them every day and every night. It's cool. And I did this cards as well, where I put, basically what I do is that I wrote down the stuff that I don't like about my life, so that I can take some action towards that, So I wrote down, like, I hate that I owe money to the IRS. I hate that sometimes I don't get up and exercise. I hate that I don't have to work enough that I want. I think I can have more. I hate that I don't have strong friendships. Stuff like that. And it has to work because I work every day towards what I read in the morning and I see in the morning and then at nights as well. So it helps me a lot. It's pretty cool.
Maybe Adrian, you could rewrite those into positive statements.
I have them in the positive too. I have them in I wills.
Good.
And I have where I say, I will become successful. I will achieve all my goals. I will pay all my debt.
Good.
I will have enough work to be happy. But I have them both so that I can, kind of have that action of, oh, I hate that part of my life.
But you're doing that as an incantation. And so you're giving it feeling and you're repeating it every day, and that can perpetuate it. And I would give more feeling to the positive affirmation and the positive incantation than the negative.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I agree.
That's true. Yeah.
Just play Barracuda and go for a run on the beach, write it down one time and be done.
Yeah.
I think it's in DWD where you create a list of the things that you won't stand for anymore in your life.
Right.
Right.
So rather than saying I
that's
hate,
kind of what I did.
Yeah, I get that. That's what I was just going to say. Is just instead of because the word hate, we say that a lot. I hate this, I hate that, but that doesn't denote any action. Maybe if you use the words, I will no longer stand for owing money to the IRS. I will no longer stand for. And I would say, one of the things that the distinction that I got from Robbins, because I'm NLP certified, and one of the distinctions I got from Robbins is NLP teaches you that it's neuro-linguistic programming. Do it once and you're done, right? And Robbins said, look, it's not neuro-linguistic program, it's neuro-associative conditioning. And he makes a big point of that in some of the audios. And that means that you have to do it every day. We have conditioning that we had no part in creating. It was learned from parents, other people, the whole shebang. So, every morning get up and say, part of your incantations can be, I will no longer stand for this. But make sure, saying the affirmations is great and incantations are great, and I'm a big believer in that. But make sure that you pick out the one item on that list that you're going to tackle, the highest priority, and then break it down. Add it to the challenge. The challenge doesn't end on April 10th for me anyway. Might be a different day for you. It doesn't end. Right after that, there's another challenge. And start living your life in challenges. And this is about an intensive period to get shit done. It can be something like quitting smoking. I mean, it doesn't have to be about financial goals or anything else. It can be just habits you want to get rid of. So that's what I would just say. But I agree with what Karen said about making it incantations too. Got to have both sides of the coin.
Absolutely. I also feel that the word hate is very powerful, and you're giving it a lot of power instead of going ahead and changing. And what Bert was saying, that you will change this or that you won't stand for it. Because sometimes when you have that negative side or that rebel side, that gives you the energy to do it. And I get what you're saying of you hate this, but hate is just as powerful as love. And that you saying that I love that I've gotten this done, or I love that, screw the IRS, but whatever it might be, to go ahead and have that those positive incantations. So that's what I want to say.
Cool. No, thank you. Yeah,
you can make.
I kind of,
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna, it did kind of like, make me, when I started writing down, and I said, okay, this is what I hate. Kind of like,
your connection's a little rough, Adria.
I hate it, and so I'm gonna find my way to that part where, can you hear me there better?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Say it again.
I'm on my phone. No, I was just, that's what I wanted. I wanted to make it powerful, and probably it is right that I'm not using that word's not the best. But yeah, I'm gonna change that order and we'll see how it works.
I want to give you credit though, Adrian. I think your heart was in the right place, and I watch people every day settle for less than and never even look at shit that they don't like about themselves. They just keep on keeping on. And I want to give you definitely props for at least you chose to look at what you don't like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And part of this whole process, me included, I'm learning more successful strategies and tools. So you had a great thing that you did. You just didn't maybe go about it the right way. And that's why these calls are so awesome. We get to get these little snippets to get, and Bert, it was you that said the 80%. I took that with me, and, we learn how to be more successful at what we're trying to achieve so that we can execute the goal and not just sit around and talk about it. So you wrote it down, and that was the start. And so you have all these people to help empower you to make it more successful. So I love that.
Right.
Totally.
Thank you.
I agree.
I'd like to do a quick share before we end the call because my dogs are freaking out. They want their breakfast.
Okay, we'll let you do that, but I think we missed giving Adrian a hand, and he totally deserves
Right on, Adrian.
You rock, man.
You're rocking it. And
Way to be accountable. Woo!
Make that into what do you call it? Oh, vision board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, Karen, go ahead.
I'm not the most driven person, and I know Anne's gone. I would never give myself a day off. I'm not competitive. I'm not driven. I had a friend who died young, 48 years old, and I make sure to appreciate life. I can't be driven all the time and roll my car off a cliff like she did and die always having been driven and not having given myself pleasure. So I don't subscribe to that. But I do subscribe to posting very unpopular things. And when I'm having a good day, I post it because I'm always real. And I've had plenty of posts where there's not been like maybe but one like. Somebody's like, okay, I better support her in this. But I always put it out there. And one thing that I'm planning on doing eventually when I get my rescue going is I'm planning on bringing high schoolers in that need to do community service, troubled kids possibly, because for me, troubled teens are just like a stray dog. They need a connection and they need some direction. And so that's always been really strong on my list.
Yes.
And I always give $5 to the guy who's hungry on the corner. And the other day I said to this guy, he was a little older, and I said, do you smoke? I said, if I give you $5, you're just going to buy a pack of cigarettes. And he goes, no. And he takes this out of his pocket. He goes, look. And he shows me in his hand all the little cigarette butts that he pulled up off the street corner, that he's going to smoke those cigarettes and he wouldn't spend the money. Oh my God, the tears in my eyes. And so I gave him $20. So I'm moving ahead on the challenge. I'm not making everything every day, but I give myself that little bit of leeway. The one place I wish I had a little more drive, Katana. I wish I was a little more physically fit like I was when I was in my 40s. But I'm almost 60. Say la vie.
I'm 52. You can do it.
Karen, you're a leader. And I love what you
Don't
say.
women stop aging after 22?
That gives me a lot of stuff to look forward to.
Yes, Bert, I agree. Except for the body doesn't agree.
Awesome.
Udoka, did you want to say anything?
With your hairnet on? You're so cute.
I don't know if she can hear us.
She's looking for the mute button. She's trying to get off mute.
Oh,
Wait, sorry.
There
you got it.
I wasn't paying attention. What happened?
We said we're all going to give you $1,000 for showing up, so you're going to get a check for $5,000. So. But only if you responded. You took too long, so we took it away.
Oh man, darn it!
We were like in 3, 2, 1. No, but one day I'll be able to give checks like Ellen DeGeneres. We'll have sponsors for leaders like you guys. But Udoka, I wanted to know if you had something to share as well. It looked like you wanted to say something.
I don't know. Well, I finally put up a Facebook ad. That was one of the tasks that I've been trying to do, and it was one of those things like I talked about last week that just for some reason it just wouldn't happen. Like it seems silly to anyone else, like, oh, just learn how to do it and put the ad, but it just took me so long to finally do it, and I finally did it this week. And I've been practicing what we talked about the week before, the
what I was talking about, like every moment you have to refocus. It's like every single moment you have to be conscious about what you're telling yourself and refocus. And I've been practicing that a lot. And the more I do it, the easier it gets. The easier it gets to do my task. Like making a task list used to be super overwhelming to me. And just the more I practice on refocusing and doing something, the easier it gets. So it's really cool.
Yay. That deserves a round of applause too, for sure. Woo. Really awesome. Keep it up, girl. Keep it up. Get an accountability buddy. Do whatever it is that you need to do. And, you know, and we'll support you, and definitely run a link by our group with your ad so that we can, you know, support it too. Like, share, whatever it is that you need us to do. Let us know. That's what we're here for. Right, guys?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, share my GoFundMe. Share my GoFundMe.
Yes, Karen, I don't know if you guys saw it. Did anybody not see her GoFundMe?
No,
I didn't see it.
No,
Could you
I
post
did.
the link here to the group?
Okay, Karen, I want you to repost it on the group, please.
I
And
will, and I want to say that was huge for me. I cried for 2 days. I don't ask. I don't ask. I work hard. I work 3 jobs. I'm responsible for myself. I'm not a taker.
Is it for boob job?
It is not for a boob job. I'm too old for a boob job.
Hey, we can all hope.
Never too old.
It is so that I can do stuff around my house to make it right for my dog rescue.
woo!
Awesome stuff.
Let's clap our hands for that. That's over now.
Yeah, post it.
I wasn't kidding you guys when I said that we had leaders on this call. It's really incredible, and we only tap into very little of what we each do, but you know, I really sense who you guys are and the stuff that you do, and it's incredible. Evan, how about you? Do you want to share some more?
Yeah, I'll share a little bit. I think the past week or so has been amazing. I studied my ass off, or my tuchus off, my butt off for certification exam, which was a big step to claiming expertise for my job search, and I passed. Which was
He passed, you guys. He passed.
Yeah.
Yay.
So.
Oh, yay!
And now it's all the little things. It's having, instead of having a to-do list or a schedule for the things I need to do, I have important to do and the urgent to do. And having that, breaking that up helps me focus on what's important. And I'm taking steps that are uncomfortable for me. I was listening to Paul Kirsch's webinar on influence, and that's huge for me because I'm, I'm very personable, but I need to work on influencing and recognizing those strategies. And I'm doing a lot of little things. I'm getting out and going running, going to meetups. I'm inviting friends over for movies and growing personally. And it's the next step is to make these things a habit. I've tapped into a new part of myself with studying for the exam, for staying up till 2 a.m. and working my butt off for something that matters. And I'm excited about my future. And now it's about making sure I stick to my goals of personal development, of professional development, and get outside my comfort zone a little bit and make sure I achieve them. So, and making these things a habit.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's celebrate that. Woo!
Yeah. Go.
Thank you guys. And I signed up for, I posted for me on the accountability buddy post that you posted, Yahli. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I posted that. So you guys who don't have buddies, definitely post on there. And it's cool. I think we're all in a good place. I had an incredible week with my sister's wedding. And it was probably the most incredible day I've ever had with my family. I don't remember anything like that. And for us, it's like such an amazing experience to have. And it reformed the way that we look at each other and spend time together. And we really took the time to do it all together. And my sister was not worried about anything. She wasn't stressed about anything. She was the most laid back, chill, calm, loving, appreciative, and grateful bride that I've ever seen in my life, which just doesn't make any sense. I don't know how she did it, but it's definitely inspiring. And it made everything so much easier. You know, even at the wedding itself, there was just like this calm, and everybody felt great, and we danced forever. And Jeanna, my accountability buddy, came so she can make sure that I dance. And see,
that was going to
be
a
really
problem.
good accountability buddies. You can bring them to weddings. And it was great. It was just an incredible week. I did get back to blogging, and then I didn't blog the 2 days of the wedding, but I guess is that okay, you guys? Is that only on sisters' weddings, I promise. It's the only way. But definitely have some great things in store, not only for myself this week, and I do. You guys are going to hear about it. I'm totally stepping it up and starting something related to coaching and to really planning to move to the US, which is scary as hell for me. But it's going to be a big leap and a big step. And part of the reason I'm doing it is to really see how I can push this community forward and bring iinspire to life. And it may be hard, but it's something that's worth my time, and it's what I want to do. So
I'm sure you have friends in every single state and city, so you're very, very welcome here, and yay, you'll be closer.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, and I definitely intend to get to LA too at some point. I love LA. I used to live there. I have friends there too. In the West Coast.
San Francisco's nice too. So.
Oh, you're in San Francisco. Oh, sorry, I was thinking West Coast.
I'm in Northern California. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco too, for sure. Startup land, Silicon Valley, and
that's where I am, Silicon Valley.
So definitely planning on being in that area too and checking it out. I actually haven't been, and it's definitely a place for someone like me who's in startups to check out and meet people that I've known for a long time online, some of them, and haven't met. So that's what this week has in store for me and for you guys. Even more stuff coming up to spice up these Sunday calls, and kind of like bring in some surprises, as well as share more things with you that you guys can do that may contribute to your goals. And one last thing before we kind of meditate our way out, and I'll do a little exercise for us. It'll be a little bit quicker this time. And bye, Evan, because you got to go. Wait, no?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, I thought you just wrote in the chat that you got to go.
No, I said someone.
He's hugging.
Yeah, I'm hugging.
Oh.
He's virtual hugging.
You can always hug us. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. It was like a read while I was talking. So hi, Evan. Welcome back. And what I wanted to say, the last thing was that I decided that I want to get an opportunity to personally talk to each of you. I've reached out to some of you individually, but those of you who haven't gotten the chance to, I want a half-an-hour call with you guys. So please private message me 2 call times that would be good for you this upcoming week. My schedule's crazy, but still more flexible. So I can move things around and try to make it happen. So give me 2 options, and make sure they are not, if you're East Coast, they're not later than like 6 p.m. because that's really late for me. So no later than 6 p.m., as early as you want. And I'd love to get a half an hour with you guys, pick your brains, see how I can help keep you accountable, stay informed with where you're at, and just get a little one-on-one. So I'd appreciate it if you private message me that, and we get to have that time together. All right. Anybody want to say something before we start a little exercise?
I'll just remind everybody something that I remind myself every day, to be aware of what meaning I attach to what, and be very clear on what something means to you.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah, there's a temptation in that too, to slide a little meaning that serves us but doesn't serve us.
I think it's like the number one key of self-development, that and taking responsibility for your life. I think that's what it's about. Number one, like once you get that you're responsible for everything, for what people do to you, once you're willing to take that point of view and embrace the fact that any meaning is the meaning that you give it, it changes your life. It changes everything in your life. So thank you for reminding us that.
And one more little tiny thing. I think it'd be absolutely awesome, freaking killer, if our 100-day challenge group comes up with our own mission statement as a 100-day challenge group, that we have a mission statement as a group.
I think that would be incredible. If it could be an iinspire mission, even better.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. I'm up for that. Yes, Karen?
Oh, so one of the things that you had mentioned at the beginning was about showing up on time. And that's something that I guess was in the last call. This was the first call that I happened to hear. I guess it's a weekly call from Gary. And he was talking about scripting your life, and that everything needs a script, and also to show up on time because of respect and things. So I wanted to hit the snooze button, but I knew that I only had a few minutes to make some tea and get on this call, and I wanted to make sure to show up. And so that's something that I just wanted to share. And also I'll go ahead and put one of my goals right now that I will share on Facebook this week.
Woo!
So have it. And Katana, thank you. I need to stop thinking about what people think and screw it. And this is who I am.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, if you can't take a joke, don't read my post. So, okay.
Just say to yourself, I am valuable, and write your shit down.
Okay. I am valuable, and I'll write my shit down. Okay,
and I can already say that before she even says anything, I'm so excited that you're sharing that, because she told me I had a sneak peek, and it's incredible. So go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that I'm gonna.
Post it on Facebook.
To write it down on Facebook. So, but I have to say, this week was a hard week. I think it was last week I had a breakdown, and this week, and I hope it's not going to be a pattern of once a week having this breakdown, but I did, and I moved through it. I think one thing about this challenge is that you might fall down, but you get up a lot faster. It seems that you're moving quickly, and usually the time that you would break down it's harder to get back on that path. And it just seems that I was able to share things with my husband, and he was trying to say things or fix things, and I just said, all I need you to do is listen. I'm being raw right now. I'm being open, and it's hard, and I just need you to be there. And he's been very supportive this week. Like, have you gotten your goal done? Have you done this? What can I help you with? And so I guess it's the intention when you put it out there. And he knows that I'm changing. He's not doing this challenge with me, but he is definitely supporting me. So that's a very good thing. That's a huge thing.
That's awesome. Thank you, Keren, for sharing that. Definitely, I think I want to actually challenge you to maybe say a word or two about your goal on this call, just because it makes it even more real.
Ooh.
And it's more scary. And it ends with a note that we can keep you accountable for. And since you've had that challenge this week, I think that can push you to the next level. But tell me what you think.
Okay. Well, one of the things the other thing that I felt is I need to go ahead and look at my goals again, because I feel like I'm trying to do too much and not focusing. And my whole thing is I really need to just focus and get something done. I was talking to my accountability partner about, if you've ever seen that movie Up, it's like you're going squirrel. Okay. You have you want to focus and then you squirrel. It's like you go on to something else, and I'm just trying to go ahead and yeah, I want to be able to lose weight. I want to do this, but right now I need to go ahead and think of my mental state. My work is a huge thing. I was just given a territory in sales. I need to prove myself. I worked hard to get this. Now I need to put it in action. And so my main thing right now is to be really focused and to see these customers. And there's only one time to have a first impression. And like the beginning of the week, I felt like a scatterbrain. And so right now I've condensed my goals. And so I'm trying to see as many customers as possible this week by not only in contacting them, not only by seeing them, but by doing a mailer, which I haven't done before, as well as follow-up, which is huge in sales. So those are the things that I'm doing this week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Evan's making his time productive.
All right. So I apologize again for the lateness, and I will just say on the note of being on time, I wanted to mention it today, but I didn't have time to speak about it. So in 2 words, integrity is key to our lives, to everything that we say, we do. And the way that I like to look at integrity is like, if I say that, I'll be here and I'll be here on time, then when I say that I'll move to the States, I'll move to the States, or any dream that I'll say that I'll do, I'll be able to create it, because the way that I value my word is that it'll always happen. I can say chair and a chair will fall out of my mouth, kind of thing. So that's what integrity is for me. And when you think about it, this is a way to tap into your subconscious kind of behavior or your habits that you're not aware of. It's like, you may be telling yourself, okay, this is just a call, just, a video blog, but, and it's a little bit in your face, but the way that you can tap into your little voice in your head is by seeing how you put that meaning of something not being important enough, and you allow yourself to not be who you want to be in those areas. And that person who actually steps up in the places that are important to them is that person when nobody's looking, in the stupidest situations, they still show up on time. And they'll still be who they say they'll be, because who they are is not dependent on the meaning they give something. Who they are never changes. So if they're a person who's on time, they'll be on time anywhere. And that's the way I want you to look at these calls. Not only are they the most important calls in your life, because if you make them that, if you give them that meaning that they will be, they'll give you back that, that effect and that gift. But also because no matter where you go, whether it's these calls or you go to the supermarket, you want to go get to the grocery store on time, because that's the way you value yourself, who you are, and your word, and what you said you do. So look at everything that way. We expect you to be there on time. So be there on time, even if you're brushing your teeth while you're talking to us. We've seen that some of you can definitely be on in the craziest of situations. So thanks for pointing that out, Keren. And Evan, I hope that someday you'll do a little cooking show for us, because that's really good for the view we have. Also a working out.
Yeah.
But yeah, do like a little nutritional cooking show.
Sure.
And we'll get you on tape. Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Got my squash and my oranges. Okay.
All right, you guys ready for a little exercise? We're so over time, but if you guys can stay on for the next 5 minutes, let's do it. All right, we've been sitting for 2 hours once again. So we're going to stretch, but of course I'll start by just thanking you all so much for showing up to this call and, you know, being here with me and just being a part of this community. It means so much to me. It means so much to everyone on here. And I respect that and acknowledge you and love you guys so much. So thank you so much. Let's give our bodies a little shake. Shake it up, release it. Stretch however you want, however you like. When you're done, just sit down, relax. Close your eyes and start by taking a few deep breaths. After releasing some of those breaths, I want you to notice that when you're inhaling through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Give your body that energy. Inhale all the good feelings that you want to have in the upcoming week. Exhale anything that doesn't belong there. Take another one. Make sure it's a diaphragmatic breath and you can feel yourself expand with all those good feelings. And exhale. Okay, get ready for 30 reps of power breaths. Put your hands up and go. When you're done, just inhale and exhale. And get ready to go again. And go. Inhale and exhale. Release anything in your body. And go one more time. Let's go. This time, put your hands on your heart. Close your eyes. Feel the beat. Love it. Think of one thing you're grateful for right now, this moment. Feel it. Why are you grateful for it? How fun is it that you have it? How lucky are you? What do you really love right now? Tell yourself what or who you really love right now. Be with that and feel the love. Give yourself that gift of love. Now ask yourself another question. What am I excited about? When you think what you're excited about, I want you to walk into that experience. Feel it. Smell it. Look around you. Be there. What are you truly happy about? Think of something that makes you happy and bring it in and experience it. Now think, what are you passionate about? What are you really passionate about? Think of what makes you feel really passionate and dance with it as you think about it. Just dance with it. Now I want you to think of who loves you. Think of a few people who love you and just look at their face. Look at their face when they're really loving you. Take a second to dance with them to the music. Just be with them. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And now I want you to think of one experience in your future that you can choose, that you want to go to right now. And just enter that moment as if it's the easiest thing in the world. Just be there. What if you can dance in that moment? Just take a moment to dance and look around you. Think of what you have and how you feel. Think of whoever's there with you, have them dance with you too. Whether it's one person or a million. Be proud. Choose another moment in your future. Go over there and dance over there too and be there. What did you accomplish? Who's around you? Love it, live it. Feel it, believe it. It's real. You're there. And it's so relaxing and so fun. Take another moment to be there. Just dance. Now I want you to keep your eyes closed, but think of the beautiful community that you have here with you on this call. And even though your eyes are closed, think about the love in their hearts. Think about the fun. Think about the accomplishment. Think about the empowerment. think about the fact that you have these people with you, at least for the next whatever days you have left on your challenge. And keep your eyes closed, but just dance with us. Dance with the people who didn't make it to the call today, too. Those watching us on video later, just dance with us. You can put your hands down on your knees facing upward. Take a deep breath in and take all the love in, all the love from the people on this call, the love from the people in your life, the love from the people who are in your future. Exhale, and every time you inhale, I want you to feel more love and more reasons to dance. And when you exhale next time, I want you to open your eyes and really dance with us. Woo!
Yeah.
Rock it out. You can open your eyes, everyone. Ready for another song?
Sure. Have at the.
Get ready to dance and just rock it out.
I know you don't any better.
Yeah, pretty clear. I don't know how to do it, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to do. 'Cause I got that boom boom that all the bullshit and all the right.
I dare you guys to get up and really dance.
I can't.
If you got beauty, just raise them up. 'Cause every inch of you is perfect from the bottom to the top. And my mama, she told me don't worry about your side.
Who wants to be a leader and give us some moves to follow them?
No, it's okay.
Okay, we'll start with me. Everybody do what I do. Okay, one of the Karens, you're next.
You go.
I don't have pants on.
Why?
All right, do what you Noka's doing. She's dancing.
Next time.
Hello. Hello.
Do what Evan's doing.
Hello. Hello. I came back just to watch you monkeys dance.
Evan did the monkey because you said that. Evan did the monkey since you said that.
Yeah.
Right now I'm dancing butt naked and you can't see it.
You're joining both of Karen.
Whatever. Trying to be creative.
All right, just do whatever you want to do.
Freestyle.
Make funny faces.
Karen, this is for you. That's for your post.
Pick a winner.
All right, everybody. If you're ready for an amazing week, say yes.
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 Say yes.
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 No. No.
Say yes.
Unfortunately. Yes.
Yes.
Make the sound of unstoppable intensity.
Woo!
And let's be Tony Robbins for a minute and go, whoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone. It was an incredible call. Thank you so much. Have an incredible week.
Thank
Thank you, Yahli, and thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Peace out.
Ciao.